Hello everyone. How's everybody doing today? Good, I hope. So, I wanted to just come on here real quick and talk a little bit about fear. So, remember that phrase or that quote, there's nothing to fear but fear itself? Well, that quote is something that I personally never really understood. Like, what does that mean? I said it, I knew the words, I memorized the statement, but what does it really mean? And what it actually means is that being afraid of monsters or being afraid, and I say that child and in like a silly childlike way. If you've done any study on archetypes of our human archetypes, they talk about like the monsters that we battle every day. And so I'm going to call it monsters because as children, we are really afraid of monsters. And then as we grow up, we become afraid of other things like illness and losing our jobs and family passing away, natural disasters. And so those are also monsters too. Those are adult versions of the same monsters that we were afraid of as children. So, the thing about fear also is that it is multifaceted. If you think about all of the times that you've gotten angry, boiling mad, like blood pressure through the roof angry, think about what's below that. What is below that anger? And most of the time, you're going to find that it's fear. It's rooted in fear. Anger has these like roots that go down into our fears. And then when our fears pop up, when the monsters jump out and try to scare us, then the adult version of us doesn't do what we did as children, where we cried or hid or called for mom. We can't do that now. We've been told we're adults. We have to act like adults. But when those fears come up, then we revert to feeling the fear like we were a child, but then we go into anger. So for example, say someone cuts you off in on the road, and you get angry and you get road rage and you yell and you cuss and you honk your horn. The child inside of you probably was in a car that maybe got hit, or maybe you have your children in your car, and so you get scared because this person just cut you off and they could have killed your kids. So the anger comes out first, but the roots are in our fear, right? So if we can release our fear, follow me here, if we can release our fear from our body, because all of our emotions are stored in our body and our tissues, if we can release our fears, then there will be less episodes where we get angry. It's always going to be, when we're angry, it's always going to be about somebody. We perceive that someone is either going to leave us, take something from us, hurt someone we love. Those are the kind of things that create anger in our adult population, right? So, again, that stems back to our childhood and things that we experienced as children. So, the organ system and the meridian system that holds our fear is going to be our kidneys and our bladder. Our urinary system, that's going to hold our fear. So our kidneys are going to be older fears, things that are very old and are not active currently, not actively happening, but they're still there in our body. Now our bladder is going to hold our new fears, which makes sense if you think about it. When a child gets scared, they can wet their pants. And that would be because they're currently scared in that very moment and they lose control of their bladder. They got scared and they didn't want to get out of bed. They got scared and they just released. So that's why an energetic releasing is very important. Then it's also going to involve our liver because our liver holds our anger. So, but today we're just going to work on the fear part. So I just wanted to show you guys where you can go to tap on your body to release fear. Okay, so you're going to come on your décolleté. This is your décolleté, your chest. Yes, my nails are 2 different colors and they look really bad because I've been planting seeds. Okay, so K27 is one of the points on the kidney meridian. And so you have 2 clavicles just like you have 2 kidneys, right? So you're going to find midline, and midline is always going to be around you can find your midline by finding your thyroid notch. It'll be like a little U-bone right there. That's midline. And then you're going to find your clavicle based off where your thyroid notch is. Okay. So it'll be about, you're going to come down, and then here's my clavicle, right? So you're going to come over about an inch over, and it'll be like a little divot there. You might also feel some tenderness. If you feel tenderness, that means that you in fact do have fear stuck in your kidney meridian, right? So you can either massage here while you're taking some deep breaths, just massage. I like to, on the exhale, actually go in to the area. So as I'm inhaling, I'm just on the surface, and then as I exhale, I press into that. Inhale. Asking the body to now just release any stagnant fears that are being held in our kidneys and kidney meridians. Another way is just to tap right below your clavicle. This is similar to EFT tapping, but we're just tapping on one point and just focusing on fear. Irrational fears, rational fears, old fears, new fears, asking that they all be released out through the bottom of our feet. So the kidney meridian does go all the way down the body. Okay, so how does everyone feel? You should have some tingling and buzzing in your fingers. That is normal. That is your energy. That is your chi. You can play with it. Get your hands activated, which we should have done first, but we didn't, so it's okay. All of this that I show you guys or that I talk about, so the first thing that you really, really, really need to keep in mind is that there is no way to do it wrong. The only way to do this wrong is not doing it, or with an intention of harm. If you have an intention of harm, then you do not need to be healing yourself or anyone else. Other than that, there is nothing you can do wrong. If I say that the kidneys hold fear, and you read in a book that kidneys hold depression, then guess what? It's all right. It's all right. Whatever resonates with you, whatever resonates with me. We cannot do this wrong. There is no wrong way. There is no wrong way to think about it, or to study it, or to do it, unless you're just simply not doing it. And who wants to live with fear in their life all the time? Back to the statement, there's the only thing we can fear, or the only thing that we should fear, is fear itself. The reason that we should only fear fear is because fear is really the only thing that we should be scared of. The fear itself, because it stores in our body, and then if we don't ever release it, we go our whole life being afraid. We go our whole life being angry and depressed and sad and miserable, and that is not what the Creator, that Great Spirit, wanted for us. Great Spirit wants for us to be blissful and happy and have all of the things we want and love and need. So if we're living in fear, number one, our vibration is very, very low. We cannot manifest anything good into our life. We cannot pull any good new experiences into our life if we're vibrating with the frequency of fear. It's just not going to happen. If you are wondering why your life is always so bad and miserable, and why bad things happen to you, it will never get better if you are vibrating at the frequency of fear and anger. So this is going to help raise your frequency, and that's why we should fear only fear, because it causes us to be miserable, angry, lonely, sad. It causes us to hold these traumas and these pains and sufferings inside our body, which will eventually turn into disease. So this is one way that you can eliminate a lot of different illnesses, and how you can eliminate just feeling crappy all the time. So I didn't want to make this too long, and we went over a little bit, but if you have any questions, just let me know. Oh, also, you can also just tap here on their kidneys to release that fear. So I hope everyone has a beautiful, blessed day.